Yeah,
They
I
did
mean,
some things well, obviously.
yeah, they only scored one more point in the second half than what they scored in the first half. But
Right.
you shoot 21%,
Mhm.
or less than 21% from the field, you're not going to beat anybody. And I thought it was really a double whammy, if you will, where um, they end up with 10 offensive boards. You got to give them credit for their effort. I was disappointed on our effort on wrapping up rebounds. They shoot 54% in the second half, and it would probably been more like 45% if we don't give them 16 points off a second effort. So they did a good job of converting it, whether it was from the free throw line. Um, we fouled them on a couple of those after they got the offensive board, and
A couple of
and
those
then,
were big ones, too.
oh, it was
He
huge.
had a good series, and then he said, oh.
Yeah, end of shot clock. I mean, I can think of Yuri on one, just not even getting anybody. It should have been a guard rebound. PJ late. Um, Shoot, we had several guys that should have come up with rebounds and didn't get a body, whether it was out of the zone or man. Um, I thought their pace of play and their effort offensively was really good, and their execution was good. We didn't do a very good job and when we did get a chest on them, get an angle, we had some pretty good defensive possessions where they took tough shots. And, Carter made probably 4 really contested shots, and a couple of them were at the end of the shot clock. We had, 2 or 3 fouls on the shot at the end. 1 3-pointer. I mean, the game's probably over as far as winning it when I think it was Brad fouled on the left side. But, Nick struggled with knocking down the shot, and I thought he passed up some shots in the second half that normally he's going to shoot, but he ended up 1 for 8 from 3.
There was a number of guys who were kind of absent today, or just very.
I mean, if we have Matt and Nick that do that, we're gonna struggle. I mean, we need more out of those guys, and this was certainly a game where neither one of them had their normal performance at all.
I thought you had a couple of stretches like this, when you guys surged at the end of the first half, you had a little run in the second, where you turned them over a little bit, slowed them down, and made them work and made them, maybe panic a little bit, but it comes back to if you can't score, that's the big thing. So overall, you're pretty pleased defensively? Plus Carter and Fletcher, which is really big.
Well, yeah, I mean, you look at a team shooting 50% against you, and that's not. I mean, our goal is to get them below 40. But like I said, if we do a better job on the defensive boards, the one and done, which is one of the things we talk about, a contested shot, and we get a rebound, then they're in the mid to low 40s, which is not bad. But I thought we did a pretty good job. It was just off the bounce that we really struggled the most. They do a nice job with that screen out top with 2 really good players, with Fletcher and Carter, and that's a tough one to guard. And we tried mixing up who was guarding Fletcher so we could just switch it. And when we were able to switch that with PJ, it worked better. But you can't do that with those. I mean, you can't play them for 40 minutes. And when we rotated some guys in, you have a freshman and Kyle Lamont that comes in and struggled. I mean, those are some men out there that are playing, and I thought Kyle struggled with it defensively and played a little bit like a freshman tonight. David played like a freshman at time tonight when he was in there. We had a 2 or 3 segment in that second half when we brought David in that they scored, we turned it over, foul them, and David was involved with those. And I'm certainly not putting the game on David Yelling, but those are critical times that you need guys to play, and we struggled with that.
Are you guys just trying to find your way right now? You lost so much ball handling experience last year, just the guard spot. Are you still just trying to search for the right rhythm, right combo?
No, I think we've been pretty good. Even you know, Ashland's a game in all practical purposes, we won. We outplayed them. Finley shot the ball really well, but we took care of it. Only had 5 turnovers. You know, we have Albion going into finals. We've got finals this week. I mean, a lot of them just ended. Walsh was done with theirs last week. I'm not making that as an excuse. Guys have got to be more mentally tough than that, but it is a fact. No, I think we had a bad night. I give them credit, but I think we had a bad night, execution and scoring the ball. I mean, there's no other. If Nick Spitzley is 6 for 13, now you think about when he had those shots, what a difference that makes in the game. If Matt Crowell makes 3 more, we're not even saying shoots 70% from the field, but even shoots 10% below his average, because in the league he's right at 60% from the field, and he ends up 1 for 8 tonight. Now you're talking about a 9-point game instead of a 15-point game at critical parts of the game, and you have a little bit of confidence on things. That scoring makes a difference for guys. You know, you can't underestimate that, the mentality and that with getting some buckets. And that's how we ended the half. Thanks.
Good luck Saturday.
Appreciate it.